Well, good evening. It is Thursday evening, October 24th, 2019, journal number 205. I keep trying desperately to say 2000. I don't know why. Maybe it's wishful thinking. T plus 205. And you can file this blog under um, simple term, doesn't take much. Okay. Um, Today was a clinic day, and it was a spectacular day, really, all things taken into consideration. Uh, it was an early lab, early doctor's visit. Everything actually worked. The traffic wasn't too terribly bad. The wind had started to kick up here in Southern California, but none of the fires um, that have broken out in the Canyon Country area or in San Fernando Valley hadn't yet really started. It was a pleasant drive. We got parking, which is really unusual. And we got in and got a blood work done, and the results came back when they were supposed to, and had some quality time with Dr. Snyder, with my doctor. And it was a great report. It was the kind of report that, I'd be lying if I told you that I didn't spend a lot of evenings just before dozing off in the hospital as an inpatient dreaming about. Um, my hemoglobin's at 11.5. That's almost normal. It's just a point and a half below normal for a male adult. My platelets are mid-range normal. My white blood count, my red blood count are all good. My DNA results came back from a test 3 weeks ago, and I am 100% um, donor DNA. And knock on wood, very little evidence of any kinds of problems with GVHD at this point, with graft versus host disease. And it doesn't take much to send you into a virtual state of euphoria. This is what you dream about when you go through something like I did. That the results will be terrific, that you'll be one of the 65%, the 65 out of 100 that are lucky, fortunate, whatever adverb you want, adjective you want to use to describe whatever it is you are. It doesn't take much to send you into a positive spin and a high orbit of joy, of just pure joy, and the realization that you just might be okay, and that the death sentence that you'd been given earlier may not get carried out, at least not now, and not with this. Um, all it takes is good numbers. All it takes is, you know, getting your flu shot, a full strength flu shot, which I got today. I'm sure I'm not going to be so excited about it later on because I'm already starting to feel achy. But the fact of the matter is, they wouldn't have given it to me if they thought it was going to kill me. So that's going to be all right. I'll get through it. And I think that's the attitude that you have to have almost throughout everything that you go through in life. Um, just saying. It doesn't take a lot to help you feel great. Uh, but it doesn't take a whole lot to send you into despair either. I don't, on the positive side, I don't have to go back for 4 weeks. When you're going twice a week for 100 days, or when you were getting your blood drawn every day, multiple times a day, um, the doctor and his team having the confidence to send you out into the world for 4 weeks at a time is a big deal. It's a huge deal. Um, we got to look at graphics of where I started and then what happened from there, and literally dropping to the bottom of the graph or off the bottom of the graph, and now coming back towards normal, um, which was really dramatic. It was powerful, you know, actually seeing that. Um, in many ways, in many ways, it's something that I truly understand because these are performance graphics. These are like graphics in business. These are like key metrics, right? These are your key performance indicators, and I understand what the spec is. I understand what the reality is, and I understand in general circumstances what you need to do to get from one place to the other. So this was all positive this morning as well. And I walked out of the office and the doctor says I don't have to wear gloves anymore. I just have to carry Purell or some other hand sanitizer with me, and I have to wash my hands often, especially during flu season. So these are victories, all of them, and they're not so small when you've been to the edge of the abyss, right? And it doesn't take much. Uh, I got to see my granddaughter, you know, and see her smile at a month, see her actually smile. Now, I'm not naive. I had two kids of my own. I've been through three other grandchildren. I know it could be gas. I mean, it could be the Gita syndrome, gas in the fill in the blank syndrome. Um, but she smiled, and I got to see that, and I might not have. I get to listen to my other three grandchildren giggle, get to hang out with my wife. We're cruising into our 50th wedding anniversary this January. And I recognize how easily what is now going to be a celebration could have turned on a dime. Um, the thing is that I recognize empirically that if you're going to be functioning or functional, you can't give any of these things too much agency over your life. You really can't. Not the good things, not the bad things. You've got to stay somewhere in the middle. In that, I try to think of it like an Oreo cookie. I mean, the top is good, the bottom's good, but the creamy part in the center is what everybody really loves. Uh, you want to have your specks in that middle ground, and you want your life in that middle ground also. Um, you don't want it to become manic. You don't want to go ahead and have these swings from highs that are too high to lows that are too low. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't take much, and you need to recognize that. And I think that the way that you get through that, or the way that I get through it anyway, the way that I get through it today, and will try to continue to get through it, is to take it for what it is. Take it for that moment that is joyous and joyful and celebratory, and savor it. Wash it around in your mouth like a really good wine or an exceptional bourbon. Savor it and then swallow, recognizing that you're already onto a different moment. And recognize the joy and the beauty in each of those moments so that it takes a lot more to move you from satisfaction and contentment and joy to despair. And on that happy note, I hope you had a day that was at least as good as mine, if not better. Till tomorrow, stay well. Take care. I'll talk to you then.